really strong on it. Gives the other teams a bit less time to adjust, right?
I'm gonna harp on it. It's all because of Xyp9x. Having Xyp9x towards the inner bomb site is a luxury that most teams don't have on Train. As someone who's so good at the inner bomb site as he is, and I believe that is the sound for us starting.
It definitely sounds like it. Map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this game underway. SK and Astralis here at the first semi-finals for EPICENTER 2017. And it will be Astralis starting on the T side and SK on the CT side. And already a lot of aggression. Is any flashbang going to come in? There isn't one right now. It's just a raw peek. First, somehow gets a headshot, and they're going to try and run him down. Device with the refrag coming in. Still a 4-on-4. And they're still pushing the issue here. A little bit slow on the Astralis side, giving SK time to rotate more people. In fact, all 4 are already at the bomb site, with Taco looking for an opening, trying to fall back behind the Train. This is very slow for Astralis.
Yeah, this is very confusing at the moment. Taco holding the fort really well. 2 quick headshots. And that's going to keep Astralis even farther back. And this is one of those scenarios you're not sure if they have an avenue to get back into it. Glaive has to try and do something, but Taco's going to continue shutting it down. It's down to just Glaive. And it was only a matter of time. SK Gaming with the pistol round, and that's beautiful from Fur. The fact that he survives for so long, but that's the double-edged sword. Even though he only gets 1 kill, the fact that he survives and has all the information of what's coming, the number of people, that allows SK to be so much more confident in their rotation.
It definitely felt to me like once they made the decision to run down Fur, then that needed to continue. It's very hard to imagine how that was going to work out with sort of stopping by the Train in a pistol round. It's so hard to get those fights against the USP. So definitely a little bit tricky here. SK up 1 round. We have the Scout on Fallen. There is a couple of Deagles. That one on Device did a lot of damage in the previous game that they played here on Train. This time, he's already been tagged up. That
was against North, I believe. And if you remember, I mean, Astralis did such a good job of getting damage on the 2nd and 3rd rounds. That is a 6 shot. We saw Taco in the pistol round and Fallen here taking off the head of Kirby. And all quiet for the Astralis side of things. They just pause across the map.
Cold is right on the other side. He's got some backup there from Fallen, who's going to take away some of the attention at least. If they get close to this MP9, they probably will be chewed up, even with the armor. It's going to be kind of hard to get him out of that corner. If they had any grenades, it would maybe be a bit different. There's the first peek coming in, and Cold is ready for it. Going to be taking down Glaive and Dupree to fall as well. It's a great double kill, just making sure they don't lose any rifles yet. And that's the biggest start. There's another headshot coming in from Fallen, and they're all going to make it out of the round. Great start here for SK.
Yeah, SK, their players are looking confident at the moment. And I mean, the beautiful thing is Fallen hits that first scout shot on a Device, and that's the Deagle. As soon as that Deagle gets tagged up and has to be passive, you know, they don't have any options because they don't have nades for any kind of an execute in that 2nd round. So when the Deagle's forced away and forced to hide into a corner, there's no real chance of it getting that next pick for the Astralis side of things. So all Glocks into this round, they've just got to save. Everyone's sitting right around $2,000. And SK, this is a great chance. This is where you expect guys like Fur, guys like coldzera and Bolts with the SMGs to get aggressive. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, they're going to come look for the kills. They want the money. There's a bit of a stack going on here, so Cold has taken some damage. The UMP is going to take over, and this is working out just great. Not a single SMG or rifle lost in the last 2 rounds is going to give them such a good economy to work with. And we talked about that. You know, how do you stop Fallen from being aggressive with the AWP? Well, if he doesn't have it, that's a really, really good bit. And that's going to take a while now for Astralis to accomplish that.
Yeah, that'd be a luxury they'd love to have. The question becomes for SK, how many of these SMGs to upgrade? They have 3. I think you at least have to have coldzera upgrade that MP9. I think you need to get that away. He can go to the M4, and actually, no, he's just going to keep it. So the AWP is on Fallen. He dropped the scout for it. That one makes sense. But 2 UMPs, 3 SMGs overall. We'll see how this works. Fur's going to get aggressive into ladder room. They're coming right for him, right around the corner. And that's a quick kill on a Kirby. No chance for a trade.
I don't think Kirby was expecting that Fur would be that far in, because he was there pretty quickly. Flashbang to make it through the smoke. Glaive, is he realizing Taco was right around the corner? The timing, it's pretty much perfect. And Sip also got 1 kill. There's Fallen with the AWP to take down Glaive. So still a 3-on-3. They still have this site on lockdown. So SK looking right good.
Yeah, that up kill is so important for Fallen just because that's the bomb as well. It's going to be difficult for Astralis to get, and now they're going to choose to slow things down. This is what they're so very good at. That's a great nade. But they're going to readjust Dupree over towards Ivy. He's going to lurk and fall, and this is all about timing. Can he adjust? We know he's got the speed, but will he have the accuracy if he needs to flick over? And there's that internal clock. Aiming right at Ivy at the correct moment, but Dupree wins it anyway. That's surprising, and that's a huge kill.
That is very well done, but so is that from Fur. Dupree coming in with the flank, and he's going to win that fight. Dupree completely changing the outcome of this round, and a headshot on Bolts to take the triple. Astralis win the first round. That is so big. How does he win that first fight against Fallen?
That is such a quick shot, especially because it looked like Fallen was so ready for it, but it might be a little bit, you referenced it with nothing said on a desk one time, is peeking with intent. It might be a little bit of that, could have been a pre-fire just in the corner, but we have to remember as well, that's basically a bonus round for SK. That round, while they lose it, and it's unfortunate, it almost doesn't mean nothing, but it means a lot less in the grand context. They got 3 kills, they're going to have the op back on Fallen, they built up so much bonus money with the SMGs, so still a tough task for the Danes.
I was going to say, especially with those 3 kills, that's going to make SK feel pretty confident about the overall situation. We'll see what happens here in round number 5. Already Sip with a little bit of aggression. They can do that fairly safely once that Molotov is down at upper brown holes. That's pretty much a standard throw now. No one, I feel like, doesn't do that.
Oh, Fer gets caught looking the wrong way. He peels his attention over towards main, and Glaive comes down and takes him out. Taco's got a hold, he pushes through the smoke, but that's a brilliant trade. Fallen has so much to do, and the missed shot isn't going to help anything.
Oh, a lot of stress right now on the SK team. They need to find their way back. And Fallen going to move in close with the AWP. This is where he can work so much magic, but they are a man down at the moment. And with the bomb planted, this is not going to be an easy retake either for the Brazilian side. Ticking away, they have a kit on Fallen, so eventually they're going to get him up on the bomb somehow. There's an attempt. Bolts gets the kill on Dupree, and Fallen with one on device. It's looking much better now. Glaive and Sip, they're both in Pop Dog. One smoke here could eliminate them. They tapped the bomb once, and now they're trying to move in. Cold Zero gets the kill. Are they going to realize Sip is also here? He goes for the long-range spray. There's someone on it already, and SK are going to win the round, and Sip goes down. That's a great use of utility. Yes,
SK used all their utility so well. Device was completely blind, negated by a Molotov as well. They forced players out into the open. They're able to find them during the retake. That's really good because the initial hold was a bit shoddy, and Astralis is going to be really, really upset about that one. The plant's going to help out with the bonus money, but remember, they had to drop weapons to even make that round happen, so they're going to be hurting with this investment, although they go pretty light. It's pretty conservative, all things considered. Upgraded pistols, but only Glaive has armor. KRB has some as well, but there's no nades.
Let's see here. AWP still in play, and with just pistols on the Astralis side, it will not be easy to make any kind of an impact here, so it's about the best way that this could begin for SK. Winning the pistol and then crushing the first rifle, well, not the first rifle round, but the second one, where they're trying to build something. That's a headshot for KRB, and Dupree will take down Cold Zero long range. Bolts trying to bring it back, and Fallen doing the best that he can, taking down Dupree. So a moment of hesitation could have gone horribly wrong, but it looks like SK are in recovery mode.
Yeah, Bolts did a great job of recovering at the center bomb site and having all the intel. Fur had a really tough round, getting pegged through the smoke plenty, and then a straight headshot, and another one comes out. Bolts out in the open, gets taken down. It's unfortunate for KRB, though. The bomb is all the way back at T-spawn, so he's got a long way to go, but they're still going to consider this a win. Considering their investment, considering what little money that they actually brought into this round, 3 kills is great for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, KRB would have wished that he had the bomb at the end.
That would have been beautiful, wouldn't it?
That would have been nice, but that's about the best that they maybe could do. So, still, we've seen performances in the past. There was a moment, there was an era in Counter-Strike where people just stopped playing Train against SK because they just had these lockdown performances on the CT side where they looked like they could not be stopped. And this is the beginning of something like this, especially in economic terms. So they're going to be excited.
I think that's the thing. I think Astralis has to look at the damage they've done in this round and say we have to capitalize on this absolutely. I mean, that's an opportunity you can't let go to waste. You cannot let SK have just such dominant rounds, you know, in a row to where they build all this money back up. AK's out, Device is on that AWP the first time we'll see this. We'll have to see where exactly he takes it. At the moment, he's heading towards Ivy. It's going to be Cold Zero there. Fallen with the AWP is in the bomb site, and this is just standard box halls control from Astralis. Nades out, Zipnik's applying just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of presence. That's a nice pop flash from his teammate to secure his safety. You can see that's already drawing Fur on the rotate just to be closer, just a little bit closer.
Still got so much time here. And it's interesting because the matchup that they were talking about on the desk with Device and Fallen, that was on Overpass. So has Device done the same amount of work on Train? Does he know how Fallen plays? We're gonna find out.
SK's got to be careful with this setup because Cold Zero is right against the wall towards Ivy. Fallen could actually get picked at a certain point if he's not aware what's coming. Now he's isolated. And he goes for the peek, he shoulder peeks it, baits out the shot, so now they've got the intel of where device is.
It's an interesting boost. I mean, so far, Astralis have spent quite a lot of time and they have got almost nothing from it. They don't really have any map control. They've put one guy a little bit forward in Ivy. They've got brown holes, but down to 40 seconds. This is getting a little bit risky.
Yeah, they have 2 smokes, but the problem is they only have 1 flashbang. Those flashbangs are critical, especially if you're going to attack the outer bomb site where Fallen is. You need to be streaming those flashbangs, and they just won't have that ability. So now it comes towards the inner bomb site, and Fur, this is trademark. He wants the information. He's going to find Zipnix. There's a timer, though. He takes too long lining it up. That's a small mistake. It's all on Bolts now.
Oh my god, that could change everything right here. Bolts down on the bomb site, has to come up really big. Fallen is down. Bolts is next. And Taco and Cold Zero. That was all a question of timing. That is going to be replayed quite a lot. Let's see what happens now. This could be what opens the door for Astralis to get back in this game. And they're just going to save, obviously, 2 versus 5 here.
I said that was a small mistake. That's actually a huge mistake from Fur. He had the aggression, and I guess he's just lining it up to make it as easy as humanly possible, but it couldn't have gotten much easier.
Yeah, I kind of understand it. It's one of those angles where
I think it's because of the box, the edge of the box, perhaps.
Yeah, like you could be in a situation where you think you're going to get a headshot, but you're just going to miss, by a pixel. So,
yep.
Got to be careful. Throwing away a couple of rifles here, trying to chase down Cold Zero, and that's going to be the end of the round. So 5-2, the scoreline here early on, and SK Gaming. They are actually running out of money quicker than I thought. That one round where they took 3 is coming back now to have a bigger impact.
And props to Astralis. I said they had to capitalize on it, and at the moment it's looking like they're about to, or it's at least a possibility. There's going to be one more buy from SK that they have to burn through, and then it'll be a couple rounds of smooth sailing. And you talked about the dominant SK defense in this map. It's looked very, very good in this event so far. But at the moment, it's struggling. Now Astralis has plenty more utility to use. Setting up again in this default. Zipnik's going to take box hall's control. They obviously have a very well planned out set nades, and as I say that, they team flash.
It's a bit unfortunate, but it did give them the control.
Yeah, can't always be perfect, can it?
Ultimately, you just want to force anyone back who's on that ramp potentially. Fallen has got a really good angle here up on the secondary train, which is, it's going to be hard to spot if they get in there, but no one seems to be pressuring the issue from the Astralis side. Again, very common spread out. They really don't want to get caught off guard by SK here early on.
Look at this change and how they want to guard this outer bomb site. There's still Taco inside ladder room, but Cold Zero, instead of watching Ivy, he's pushed up towards the train. Fallen's going to turn around to watch that from a distance. Here comes some utility usage over towards Ivy. 2 players here for Astralis.
50 seconds now. Still 2 men on the B bomb side here for the SK team, as they are trying to see if they can make their way into the A yard. There's a good smoke to force them back, and now SK are actually rotating back onto the site. Got to be very careful about doing that if Astralis push. In the meantime, baited out, the shoulder peek comes in, and Astralis are ready to try and do this, but Fallen gets one big shot with the AWP. Taco and Cold Zero shutting it down in main, and Pop Dog as well. And Kirby, he just wants at least a kill. He's gonna get that, but nothing else.
That adjustment from SK just looks so genius there, doesn't it? I mean, Fallen misses the first shot. The recovery is great, but it's Cold Zero, and it's Taco being aggressive towards the 2 choke points. That is so well done. And that's one of those things where you have to scratch your head and wonder what causes them to make that rotation, what causes them to make that shift. Either way, it's 6-2 now for SK, and instead of resetting the economy for the Brazilians, it's Astralis, who are once again back onto the pistols. This time, though, they do go for more investment. Armor on all 5 players. They've got plenty of utility. They've got 4 smokes.
It's going to be really interesting here. The CSET 75, we sort of hyped it a lot, but I feel like we haven't seen the big turnarounds, and Cold pushing aggressively and taking down Sip is definitely a good start. A lot of the teams this tournament seem to have done fairly well against the sort of threat of the CSET 75, and there's Glaive going down as well. He was setting up for that classic flashbang that he's been so good at.
No, but I wonder if that's a counter from Fur, who watched how he's taken ladder room in the past, just throwing a flash straight down and dropping with it. The fact that he's just staring straight up, waiting for it, that made that such an easy kill. No chance of getting punished.
It's very well done. Device and Kirby with the 2 deagles, the only ones left. Kirby not getting anything out of that, and Great recovery here from SK. Economically, only losing one player and getting the lead back. This is going to be very frustrating for the Danish side now.
It probably is, and now I think the question becomes, they just saw a double up setup. coldzera got a kill with his AWP towards box halls. That was on the classic box hall control that Astralis has been doing this whole half so far by Zipnix. But now that they know it's a double up setup, do they continue this slow pace? Because if they're going to do that, we've seen them a couple times start running out of utility down the stretch, and if they continue to be slow into the gun rounds, they could get picked off and destroyed by the AWPs. And I think what we have here is going to be a restarted round. It looks like all teams backing away from action. So something going wrong, and they'll call it out to the admins.
It's very hard to say what the weak spot is for SK right now. We've seen a couple of rounds where Astralis have managed to get down Ivy, and they even get out, which is normally the big problem, right?
Yeah.
You have to sort of turn that corner and look into the bomb side, but the only round they really made something big happen was actually when Dupree won that big fight against Fallen, right?
Yes, that was huge. Well, I mean, it should come as no surprise that killing Fallen is a big key to beating this defensive SK. But yeah, certainly you can't necessarily rely on Dupree winning that fight, especially the incredible shot against Fallen that he had. And we've now seen, especially because a number of times Fallen has just flat out switched up his positioning. So how do you, if you're Dupree or if you're anyone who wants to go take that fight, how do you really know where he's going to be? We've seen him on bomb train, we've seen him in the outback, we've seen him on top of trains, we've seen him push up along the train towards E-Box. So he's a slippery beast to handle here.
Absolutely is, and the fact that we're seeing Fallen and coldzera sort of top of the scoreboard here definitely also is a sign of worry if you're on the Astralis team. But I don't think, I don't think it's really sort of panic mode yet. I think they need to get up to like 5 rounds here on the T side. Then I think they can feel okay on the Astralis side. And that's definitely still doable. But it
takes one reset, right?
Yeah, one reset. That's a good way to put it.
Well, I mean, if we're going to keep track, because we talked so much about it in the pregame, I know the Desk touched on it as well, of that Device versus Fallen battle. Fallen is winning it, obviously, very heavily at the moment.
Yes.
He's got 10 kills. I think Device only has 3, and I'm not even sure those are with the AWPs. I think he might have 1 up kill in this game so far. So in terms of sniper versus sniper, it's definitely leaning towards the side of SK in effectiveness.
And I mean, if you think about it from just a positional point of view, that A bomb side is kind of Fallen's dream. There are sort of 3 main angles, obviously main, Pop Dog, and Ivy, and he can happily rotate all around and just sort of take kills left and right, which normally would be a huge stress for someone AWPing. You think, oh, that's going to be a problem, but it seems like Fallen just really loves it.
He's got a luxury as well out there, because one of his, quote-unquote bodyguards that you have to get through in order to get to Fallen is coldzera. So, I mean, that's not ideal if you are going to be having to fight your way through one of the best players ever. And then Taco as well, even in ladder room, such a strong position. So Fallen's always been very, very good at using his mobility with the op to reposition very intelligently according to where his teammates have been. And yeah, that outer yard, that's just going to be, monumental.
We'll see if that if it can make a big difference here. If they can start to break that down. And I mean, the other thing that we haven't really seen too much of is something like just a B execute, because they've done a decent job just getting control of the brown holes, right?
Yeah.
Or the box holes, if you prefer. They've definitely done that. But you talked about sort of a specialist player in SIP once they get to the CT side. SK, they definitely have something over there as well that can set up a great defense. I mean, Taco's not easy to get rid of.
No, it's also, I think it's been Bolts, who they've actually, I think Bolts has actually been
Bolts
put there.
Has been
He's been flirting with that bomb site just quite a little bit, which I'm wondering if that's something that's going to stick for them as this lineup progresses, if he becomes a permanent addition, or if it's just for the moment, because that's pretty much a solo bomb site for the majority of it. So
yeah, but they've been rotating some players in there, right? There was the one round where Cold is there aggressively with the AWP, and other
was there a couple times. He's the rotator back,
and other times they rotate. Like they rotate a couple of people in there every once in a while. I guess that's also going to keep the guessing game running for Astralis, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely will be.
Very confusing if you think Cold is going to be in the A side, then he gets a kill on B, and then...
As if you didn't have enough of a guessing game trying to figure out where Fallen's going to be in the next round. You got to figure out where everyone else is. And we've even seen, I mean, you have to say as well, that, like outside of that Dupree round, the one round that Astralis had success was being so patient that we actually watched Fur just like lose his mind and like had to make a play, right? With like 20 seconds left on the clock. He had to go find out what was happening. And just due to timing, unlucky timing, he got taken out by Astralis. So that opened things up. Either way, we mentioned in the pregame, we expect a team like Astralis and an in-game leader like Glaive to be able to figure out and counter what's happening, or to find some kind of a solution to this defense.
And this kind of, shall we say, unfortunate break maybe could give him some time to think and sort of, run through what they've been planning. And what the idea is. They did pick this map after all.
Yes, and if you're gonna pick this map against SK, you obviously have to have some kind of a plan in mind of what you're gonna do, and know you're gonna realize as well what you're going up against exactly. So I think the kind of tough part that Astralis is going to be bummed about in their game plan so far is the fact that they haven't seemed to have really, outside of the one round of Dupree lurking, they haven't gotten anything going at Ivy. They've had 2 players there, they're devoting some manpower, they're devoting a lot of utility, they've put Device there with the AWP as well, and they're not being given anything. And I think maybe Astralis comes into this and says, how many times have we watched coldzera get aggressive towards Ivy? Like, if he's going to be aggressive there, that's where we might be able to find that opening kill, and at the moment it's not happening.
Yeah, they even actually, they had that whole boost where they were sort of waiting for Fallen. So they're definitely thinking that there's going to be a fight there they can take later on, and it's not showing itself right now. So even though that's a really subtle clue to go off, but it could also just be that SK, that's one of the sort of minor changes that SK are making. But even then, it's just costing Astralis time that they don't always have, right? And utility as well. Like they're using a lot of utility to get the first position, right? They have to throw flashbangs and molotovs so they can go and take up that position at Ivy, and then no one ever shows up.
Just to keep this this match in context through while we sit through the technical delay. This is it's what 6-2 at the moment for SK, and I think it's Astralis just figured out in the previous round that it's a double op setup coming out for the SK guys. Fallen has one, coldzera has one. So this is kind of, if you're thinking, obviously they can't talk during. Well, actually, maybe they can in EPICENTER. I'm not sure what the rules are in that. I know usually they can't, but if you're Glaive, you're rifling through your Rolodex of strategies in your brain, and you're trying to figure out what is the best one to call for a double op setup. And I expect at some point in this half we're going to see the pace get picked up.
I mean, that's at least one of the ways you could punish the double AWP setup, right? Yep. And retaking AWP on train can also be very rough. It's definitely not always easy. There was that one big round where Astralis had a double stack in Pop Dog for the sort of try and cancel the defuse out. And the fact that that one smoke was in play, I had 2 worries, right? The smoke could either obviously be used for the bomb, but what if they just put the smoke towards Pop Dog? Then how do you get out? It's a very big risk for Astralis to run. Right,
but the one nice thing they have with that kind of a setup when you double up in Pop Dog like that is, SK is likely not going to assume. They'll be able to catch on quick that 2 players are in there, right? So the strategy, even without the smoke at the entrance, was Glaive coming out and then leaving Xyp9x in there for the clutch, coming out at the same angle. And that would have been the same kind of strategy and same kind of surprise regardless of where the smoke is placed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, regardless to that round, that's not like the critical point of that round. They had a 4-on-3 post-plant, I believe it was, and they lost that. I mean, if you have that outer bomb site and you have the bomb ticking away, as a professional team, losing a 4-on-3 like that in the outer bomb site is not acceptable.
The crowd is cheering a little bit. I'm not sure why. Maybe that was a sign that the game might be live. I saw an admin that was crawling around under one of the SK players' desks a little while ago. Love to see that. Yeah. Love to see that.
Yeah, definitely do.
Always a good sign that that something's really broken.
Headphones are back on. That's why they're cheering, Anders. They got it all back.
Well, I'm excited as well, and you should be too. It's 7-2 favoring SK Gaming here. Round number 10 coming up. It's only the first map of the semi-finals, and it's the first semi-finals. There's a lot still coming today, and you've got to get involved. There are almost no weapons at all here. P250 and a CSET 75 on Astralis, and that's pretty much it. So if they can even get 2 kills in this round, that would be amazing.
Any kills matter when you're going up against a double op setup, even if it is just 2. Usually we say 3, and here's the rush. That's a perfect nade. They'll carry so low, and they just walk into the bullets. They're eventually going to take them down. Molotov is going to prevent the cross and the plant, and Dupree and Device are sitting on the lowest HP possible, and this nade might just do it.
Oh, it's going to be the flames instead. How does that happen? The double barbecue.
The last second spread, I guess.
Yeah, it probably was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just ticked it away.
Danish BBQ.
Yeah, fried bacon right there. It's an 8th round now for SK Gaming. We kind of expected that. They got the kill. Would have been great with the bomb plant, but they're gonna do without it.
I think part of it, part of that double save as well, is wanting the AWP on Device. He's sitting right at like the precipice of when you can afford it. Now he only has light armor. He's got no nades to go along with it. So putting some importance in that weapon. And this is where you hope. He's gotten a lot of kills from this position in this tournament, especially against Liquid. There's the aggression from Cold, and he's going to not be able to get away. Dupree catches him right in the smoke. So Dupree's still making plays for his team.
He tried to make it out, but just didn't really work. Bolts will take down Sip, and now the game is definitely on out here at the A yard. There's Device sneaking in from one angle, but Dupree's also out there, actually lurking his way all the way past in towards CT spawn. He must have spotted that player. Can he actually get the kill on Fur? He wants more than just a single kill, and now he has to get it as well. They've lost Device. Dupree, this is a very risky play. This is either going to be genius or they're going to collapse the whole round. There's the one kill, goes for the spray, but he can't take down Fur. And now it's suddenly a 2-on-3. It might have been too much. Glaive with a big headshot on Fur. Still leaves it in a 2-on-2. And under a minute left here. They might be able to do this.
Kirby's just waiting. It's Taco's turn next to find some info, and that's exactly what Kirby wanted. That is a quick 2-tap to the head. Kirby now at range can come outside. He could try and find the info. Bolts has to be careful of which fight he takes here. There's Nate out in connector, but it's obviously not going to affect him. Glaive trying to cross, and oh, Bolts looks away at the wrong moment. They now know where he is. And Glaive stuffs him down. That's a third for Astralis. They get back on the board, but it's opened up again by Dupree.
Better to be lucky than to be good, Moses. Just that little look away from Bolts.
The hesitation
is so unfortunate, but ultimately for Astralis, they're going to be excited at that round. And I mean, this has become sort of another classic Astralis type situation where you get into those 3v3s, 2v2s, and they really slow it down.
Yeah, they're so good at them. And you have to say, these are the two of the best teams in the world at them. So it's not exactly easy to beat SK in a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3 or anything in that kind of context. So look at the switch up here. Fallen and Coldzera pushing up towards lower ramp. Bolts upper ramp as well. Biding their time. Bolts looked away. Fallen gets taken down. Great win from Device. Bolts was neutralized by the Molotov.
There were 3 people here, and they couldn't stop Device. He's going to get one more kill, but it's still a double return, so it's all over the place now. Are they going to expect that Bolts is still on the bomb side? They know he's the B player, but definitely not easy to find him where he is. Looking for the shot now. They've found it out. Device really wants to take this fight, but they've got to wait. Dupree's still on the other side of the map and could be coming in with a really big flank tap. Molotov going deep and forcing SK back.
This is such sick pressure from Device. All the nades. Look at Dupree. Oh, jumping up. The timing isn't there. He was trying to get a better angle, but he already had a great one. Fur, the reaction is perfect, and now Device holds the angle, but he misses a shot as well.
Just wanted a little bit more, and that could cost them a lot. That smoke, I don't think it's going to hold them back, but it's still going to apply a little bit of pressure here. 2 versus 3. He sees the boost. Sip almost catches it. Is he going to try and re-peek it? Fur is now up on that little hut. He's going to look for it. There's Sip with a big kill. He knows there's going to be someone else there. He gets taken down. The spray from Taco, transferring right onto the next player, and that will be another round for SK Gaming. That was a big retake.
And this is where you do just go to the platitudes, a game of seconds. Dupree jumping up on top of the container, trying to get a better angle, trying to push even further. He thought the Device did a much better job. He thought that SK was going to be a bit slower to read that play. But I think SK realized, even with all that utility coming out, when they don't see any bodies, when they don't see any Astralis manpower coming into the site, they kind of know what's going on. And they jump the rotation just a little early, and it catches everyone off guard. Great round, and Astralis just cannot string them together.
They've definitely got the right calls. They have the right ideas. You know, that's not what's missing here, but just a couple of missteps, and SK are looking so on point. They're not going to give anything away. Now we're back to pistols and no armor here for the Danish side, so should expect another cleanup, which is so unfortunate because they keep doing the economic damage, but then every time they have to save like this, they're just loving it, SK.
Yeah, it just lets them build it right back up, so all that work just goes to waste. It's got to be so tough to swallow, especially considering that was a great round for Device with the AWP to have impact. 2 kills for him. He opened up onto Fallen. They got everything they could have wanted. Still can't win it out. Taco's feeling mighty bold, knowing it's likely going to be just against pistols, trying to peer deep into T-mid. This is a very centralized hit from SK. It's a very conservative defense, just sitting in the bomb site and reacting to what comes, and that's a great shot from Device, but it's just the equalizer, but there's another one.
Oh, God. Don't let him have any more if you're on the SK team here. Just let that be it. He's only got 2 health. Surely that means he's more or less out of play. One good grenade there on him could actually do the job. 3-on-3. This is great damage for Astralis. They're going to be happy that they've even got the 2 kills, but can they get more? Maybe a bomb plant. Fallen. He's looking right there. If he gets baited out, that could get interesting. Taco up on the high ground. Does get the kill eventually on Device. Just 1 bullet was enough. And I think that should be the end of it here. Kirby's long range with the CC. It's still pretty effective, and Glaive wants to see if he gets something done. Kirby's down and out of it, and now it's just Glaive prone train, looking for the headshot, but not getting it. And SK, they stabilize nicely. Again, doesn't seem like there's really any panic on their side.
Oh, there was a little bit of panic when Device hit those 2 shots, I'm sure. That's the straight chancer from Taco. Great win from him. This is quite nice. The reaction there and the follow-up as well, just pre-firing the angles. That's beautiful stuff from Device. Nice job by SK recovering from a tough situation, but they should be getting... the tough part is now, we saw they did that double save to get Device the AWP. They don't have a lot of time for that anymore. If Device just can't have the op, he just needs to go to the AK because they need rounds much more than they need to wait for him to have the AWP. He's got it here. He's got full nades as well, so no problems, but now Zipnix, he's starting to get red. They've been running that same 2-man take, but it's always Zipnix the only one committing, and that's the second time he's been punished. Earlier it was by Bolts.
Nice little run boost to get past Fallen. Means he has 2 angles to worry about, but you're absolutely right. Sip doesn't even hit the ground before he's dead. Cold holding right next to the E-box here. So this is an interesting switch up in the defense on the SK side.
Well, this is a difficult round for Astralis. That would have been a great pick to get. Fallen almost offers it to him on a silver platter. Not a lot of utility, but they're making it work.
Huge kill for Dupree, taking down Fallen. Cold Zero is next to go down now. Taco comes in with a spray, and it could have been a double, but it's all on Bolts. 1 versus 3. As soon as they know where he is, he's going to be in trouble, and he gets isolated. Dupree to take him down for another triple kill. We've seen Dupree make some pretty big mistakes, but he's also had some really good rounds, so I guess maybe it balances out in the end.
Yeah, he could just be responsible for two of the round wins that they have on this. That one we talked about, the great shot onto Fallen to open up the round, and that one here. And sometimes it can be so frustrating because it's the simplest things that sometimes work. I'm sitting here saying Astralis has run out of nades, there's a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, and Dupree just walks out T-mid with the confidence that Device is behind him, and they find 2 kills.
10-4, 15th round coming up, last of the half, and finally SK's economy is at a point where it doesn't look good, but it's also the end of the half, so if they can make this work, it's going to be frustrating, and a great flashbang to come in. Fallen takes down Dupree, Kiebu's going to fall next, Cold Zero close range, and they win that Ivy fight. This is great play. SK, almost no utility, and they just go aggressive.
This would be a great kill to find, and that's Bolts, and even Device getting one outside. The next big obstacle is Fur on the flank. He's actually going to be able to find Device depending on what he can hear, depending on how quickly he responds to it, trying to disappear into the smoke. It's all down to timing. There's one kill. He turns around. He predicts it. He's brought down solo. And it's a 2-on-1 now. Astralis looking like they can get their 5th.
How do you win this round if you're Cold Zero? There's a Molotov on Device. You don't have a defuse kit. You do have the armor in the AK, but you almost have to go quick. And there's the preemptive Molotov actually coming down. That's a bit aggressive. Jumping for the headshot on Sip. That's incredible from Cold Zero, and he's going to tap the bomb once. He's got one single chance of doing this, and I think even maybe then the time is almost out, and that's going to be the end of it. No chance. He had to hit that straight away. So 5th round here for Astralis towards the end of the half, and a very good job. Cole just looking into the ground. I think SK are going to be quite happy with this first half.
They are, but you know what? Astralis is going to be as well, all things considered. I mean, finally finding a way to string 2 together right at the end. They got the 5 that you mentioned. They're going to be happy with right about that. So not a bad half from either team whatsoever. Astralis does eventually find out the winning formula.
Now here's a big question, Moses.
Yes.
Can Astralis win a pistol round?
Can Astralis win a pistol round? They certainly can. They have the physical ability to do it. They have
bullets in the guns.
Yeah, they do have bullets in the guns. It comes preloaded. But yeah, this has been a struggle for them all tournament long, and that's got to be wearing it in. This is one of those things where a 10-5 half is great without winning pistol on the T side of train.
Yeah,
but it puts you in that margin where this is a score where you need to win the pistol on the second half. You pretty much have to.
Yeah, it's that buffer, isn't it?
Yeah, once you get to like 6, 7, then you can maybe give up both pistols, but at 5, you have to win one of them.
Let's see how this folds out. Second half coming up here. First map in the semifinals. SK and Astralis, and Cold Zero is going to go down. That's Kirby pushing aggressively. He had backup from Device, so that is a great pick-off to have early on.
You also have the CZ. Great gun for that kind of a situation as opposed to the USP, and now Glaives even spotted some out towards Ivy. They know Fur's in mid, but this is going to be tough now.
Oh no, that's going to collapse everything, and Taco somehow running down Dupree with a headshot. This is going to be very hard now. Device with a big kill on Bolts, taking him down. They're all coming out from the C connector, and they're getting funneled in and shut down. Sip unable to hit the shot. 3 bullets left, and he's going to go down to Fur. Triple kill for Fur in that round, and SK, that is monumental. And there's a decision. I think this all comes down to Glaive, right?
Yeah.
When I think he only sees 1 or 2 at Ivy, so he's not 100% sure how many people are there. he can either stay and fight or he can sort of fall back. But when he falls back, he actually gets caught, right? And then you can just tell there's no coordination any longer after that.
I mean, there was the Ivy players who might have done the damage, but what really won the round is that one player lurking out of team mid and just finding a safe place behind the trains. That's what really causes Glaive to make the mistake of where to fight and where to go. And he does damage from long range. They have to pay attention to him because they're out in the open, and it gives the window of opportunity. So Astralis give up a pistol where they had a man advantage, and we said they had to win it. This is a nightmare scenario for them. Pistols upgraded, armor as well. Doing everything they can to respond in kind in the second round.
Also means that if they don't do enough damage or even win this round, then the fourth round is going to be M4 sure, but it's going to be limited on grenades. That's part of the sacrifice you make, getting all this armor and pistols.
Fallen waiting for a peek. Oh, Device actually wins that. He's been phenomenal with the Deagle. Still, Taco equalizes towards the inner bomb site. There's Zipnix, the one that falls there, but still SK is going to be patient across the map. It's Caribou who's rotated, it's Device who's rotated inside to kind of shore up the defense there, and Glaive is pushed aggressively. He's got map control.
This is a position that's so versatile. It allows you to hear really far back on the map, so if they start to make any noise, even in T-spawn or something, you can hear it quite far away. And if they go main, then who knows?
The question now is the timing of when SK starts to move. They're still pretty spread out. The bomb's going to be on its own here. If it gets picked off, but Glaive, he might have jumped the gun. He gets impatient, tries to make the play, and he's brought down to just 1 HP, but dupreeh again. If ever there's a player to save Astralis in this match, it's been dupreeh time after time.
A deep Molotov towards his position. Bolts wins a critical fight against Caribou. There's only 14 seconds, and Device goes down. Bolts bringing it back now for SK Gaming. And dupreeh, he's running through the fire. He was hoping they were planning out in the open, and he's going to get shot down. Great triple for Bolts. Definitely not a round that Astralis should have given away that easily after getting the first couple of kills there. That could have been a lot better. No, he just needed a little help from his teammates. Just even one kill anywhere else on the map. That's a great hold from him. Even getting the AK-47, that could have turned it on its head. So SK, gets away with one. They do win all the other fights, so props to them for that. But here's what's interesting: when dupreeh gets those kills, and Glaive even spotted Fur in main, you would have thought that there would have been more people at the A bomb site just to prevent the bomb plant. There was only like 11 seconds left, so. Right. I think a little bit of mistiming there for Astralis. It also could have been the panic of Astralis, of players coming to take those fights very, very one by one, just because they knew the time was so late. They wanted that desperation. Fallen's going to lead the way, getting one kill but trading off, so he's got the intel. It's all right. It's just a MAC-10. They've still got 2 left, and Taco, he knows he has dupreeh low. Reloading as he runs up into the bomb site, and this defense has absolutely nothing to hold with. They're all going to fall 13-5. Now the lead starts to feel insurmountable. Yeah, I mean, especially because of the economy, right? Yes. You know that it's going to be quite a number of rounds before Astralis get to that safe spot where they could realistically give a 14th round to SK and still buy no problem. I mean, if they can't even do that, then this first map could be over very quickly. Yes, it's right on the edge. This win has to go to Astralis, has to go there very, very strong. Device, despite picking up the Deagle in the second round, is able to get the AWP, but look at the damage and utility. No kits. Only got 3 smokes to play with here, but this is a good start. Zipnix getting aggressive of his own and returning the favor. He got punished by that kind of a play a couple times in the first half. Yeah, you like to see that. What you don't like to see is the fact that there's only 2 smokes and a flashbang left, and maybe as a result, Astralis want to go aggressive. They're going to shut down Fur in main, thanks to Caribou. 5 versus 3. Surely, Moses, there is no way to lose this. You'd hope so. They're making the right play so far. They've got the op on Device all the way towards the upper ramp inside at the box hall, so he's got a great range there. And everyone else is back into the bomb site. Just set up the line. They're going to have a crossfire over towards Ivy. And basically at this point, you just tell SK Gaming you have to execute if you want to get into the bomb site. We're not going to give you any picks. You have to commit to a fight somewhere, and we're going to try and have 2 players at that point of contact. It's Fallen, whose number is called to lead the way. Is he trying to look for the lineup in the ceiling, I wonder? Because of the smoke, he can't really see anything. He's so close, scoped up, 1 missed shot, and he's going to be gone. There's no one there to back him up, but in fact, the Astralis are falling back a bit. Flashbang right in his eyes. They see the gun barrel. Fallen, he should already be dead, and Bolts is going to go down. Kirby with a great triple in this round. Cold Sierra, that kill, and the second one needed to come a bit earlier. Now there's only 30 seconds left, and he's going to get isolated. Device will take him down, but that's all Kirby's round. Yes, it really is. The only thing that saved
Fallen throughout that flashbang was the fact that Bolts was pushing up Old Hell. I mean, still intelligently in a 3-on-5, Fallen and Bolts are trying to work together to take a fight out towards Ivy. That flashbang just kind of ruins the dream. Great job from Astralis there to hold on with very little utility. Now they only lost 2 players. They can upgrade into some kits. They have a double op setup that they've salvaged as well. So now they can start fighting, but that's the first step. The next one is string them together and build up the bank, and you can see a tactical pause out of SK because they know this round is sneakily important. Even though the lead is so big, if they're able to even just keep the money low, even just get the kills, they need to come up with an effective strategy, and they cannot get picked off the way they did in that previous round.
So much on the line here from map number 1, picked by Astralis as well. And map number 2 will be Mirage, and I mean, I don't even know how to predict that either.
No.
Both teams know how to play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting map for both teams as well, especially when you consider SK. This is one of those maps that they have. Fur has his trademark aggression on this map. Everywhere on the map is available for him to push whenever he wants.
Old Sierra topping the scoreboard, followed by Taco and then Fur. I feel like that is a great sign for the Brazilians here.
Great sign for Astralis is that SK Gaming is playing a conservative with the money. They don't invest too much into this. They don't actually want to fight for the round. They just want to do damage. 1 AK on Fur. What can he find? There's a missed shot from Device. Dangerous. Sipnix gets caught out. This is a rare mistake.
Device is there to follow it up. That's a critical kill. Otherwise, he's going to get completely shut down. They are pushing up behind him. A backup is coming in. Is it going to be too late? Device in a lot of trouble trying to get up the ladder. He's going to get shut down. Kirby trying to bring it back and Bolts. He's solo and trying to pick up the bomb. It's going to get him shut down. Very dangerous coming out here for the Astralis team. Don't want to give anything to SK. They are going to be able to save the round, but doesn't take much, does it?
That got so dangerous for Astralis. Zipnik's caught with a nade in his hand. You will not see that frequently on the inner bomb site. SK not able to capitalize. They only had the 1 AK-47, so not a whole lot of tools to use. And actually, all things considered, that wasn't as costly as it probably could have been. SK gets helped out, I think, by the bomb dropping through that smoke a little bit more towards the back of that inner bomb site.
Yeah.
Or Astralis does, yes.
You have to expect that probably Sip is playing off of the AWP shot from Device.
Yeah.
And then maybe he just sort of like gave up on it and Device takes the shot anyway and he's like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have the right grenade out.
Yeah, that one player was a little closer, but hold the phone. Glaive, it's his turn. He's wise to fall back because Fallen is ready for that peak.
Nice enough grenade. It might not seem like that much damage, and HEs are so difficult in global offensive, but when you have those M4s in play, it's so nice to be able to win a spray fight versus an AK because of, I mean, not against Fallen, but against Bolts.
Even just a dink, right?
Yeah, even just a dink. You know, even the 3-bullet spray there. Device winning a big kill against Bolts. And smoking off Fallen just to be extra annoying.
Yeah, that was fast shot as well. That was supposed to be a bait. Bolts running across for Fallen to get Device to take the shot so Fallen can trade the kill, but it was just too fast. Now, Device uses some mobility of his own. He switches up. He goes towards the middle of the outer yard. It's Glaive who takes up the mantle of defense in Ivy, and he's going to push. He's going to get aggressive, at least towards the box. And listen for sounds. Dupree in ladder room as well.
Yeah, he will have heard Taco jumping, so maybe he can guess that there's something coming next. Are they going to go for the double drop down, or is it just going to be some sort of flashbang? The bomb is being brought over. Fallen is peeking. Oh my god, the timing so incredibly close. That could have been Fallen dead, I think. Now Device is ready, and he's going to take down Fur again. 5 versus 3. Taco jumping down and shot through the smoke. Dupree, he had it right. So 5 versus 2, and now SK Gaming, they need to at least do some damage here. 2 versus 5. Don't think they're going to win the round, but they need a couple of kills, and looks like that might not even happen. Fallen getting hunted down in between all those trains. That is definitely a problem.
Yeah, they're doing it, Anders. They're making this comeback happen. This is great. They've done a phenomenal job in this half of finding a couple kills. The AWP is now, you know, starting to heat up on Device, so he's found his picks towards Ivy, towards Team Mid. But even if you look back to the first gun round, it was Kirby pushing up in mid, finding that 1 kill over the top of the train. It was towards the inner bomb site. This is really, really good stuff that Astralis is bringing out. Just finding ways on the CT side to get the opening kill, and then play more passive into the bomb site. Force SK to come to them in a disadvantaged situation.
Starting to close the gap ever so slowly, and they're still playing what looks like a really good CT defense. See what SK's answer to this is going to be. I love the 3 Deagles. Maybe we could see some action there. It's a bit of a shame Cold Zero's already gone, but there's still some options.
Taco's spamming down. Glaive's in some danger here. Does Fallen want to pounce? He's probably surprised him, but Glaive's ready for it. Doesn't matter, though. Swift shot with the Deag. And now Fallen's got an M4 and he's found positioning.
He's really deep in behind enemy lines. That's going to cause a little bit of trouble for Astralis. Sip wants to go and fight it, and he reads it so well. You could even see from Fallen's point of view that Sip was so ready for it. 4 versus 3 now. That's such a shame. If they could have executed with Fallen still being there, like pushed into B or something, that would have been really annoying. Well, Taco's definitely gone.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. Fur got to watch all of it. And now they're zoned in on his position as well. Kirby with a nice shot. Astralis on the CT side looks like they're a little bit sharper. There's some bullets coming out from Bolts, but he's not going to get the kill. Eventually will go down, but good round from SK coming into this with just pistols and finding a plant out of it.
Yeah, it all matters, right? Even one rifle taken away, that little bomb plant. Especially when you get to the end of a game like this. It's so hard to keep a track of. I mean, we really have almost no way of doing it, but just the sort of the cumulative effect of saving a rifle here and there, getting an extra bomb plant. Once you get down to, and this could be one of those 14-14 type games, then you really sometimes just wish you had extra $300.
Sometimes just a flashbang.
Yeah, that's
more importantly, a kit. It was always a big deal.
Oh, yes.
See Glaive here, the in-game leader. Really salvaged their T-side with a couple round wins at the end of the first half. It's 13-9 now, as the defense is really being marshaled by the AWP of Device, and Glaive's going to get aggressive. He's not slowing down whatsoever.
Really wants to put the pressure on Device, sacrificing a lot of health just to try and win the fight, and he's going to go and re-peek against Fallen. That seems like complete madness. Bit of a standoff, and it's Taco instead going down. So really rewarded for his patience, and now Dupree up close in main, going to win that fight against Fur. Another 5 versus 3 here for Astralis.
And importantly, none of these kills that Astralis has just gotten, Dupree making a little mistake there, you can't trade them if you're SK. Device is at an off angle where Fallen just can't see him to get that pick onto Taco. coldzera's got to be cautious of it now. And Fur coming towards mid, Dupree finds a kill that no one else can respond with. So this is great from Astralis that they keep it up. Now the entire offense is split. One in T-main, one above ladder, one in Ivy. Fallen, Cold, and Bolts can do nothing to help each other out, but this is a sneaky play. How has Fallen managed this?
He's a spy with an AWP, sneaking his way in behind enemy lines, and that is big. He's going to get shot down from above. Glaive with maybe one position there that Fallen just couldn't account for. He did actually check for it, but couldn't see him. Great headshot on Device from Bolts. 2 on 3 still, and with only 30 seconds and the bomb on the site here, this is going to get tricky. Bolts goes down. Glaive with a really big impact in this round. coldzera, last man standing here for SK Gaming. Try and stop Astralis from getting onto 10, which would definitely be a big number for them right now. He's looking to see if he can get the swing, but they're going to double peek, and the timing is so good.
That was beautiful. I thought Glaive was just going to play the time game, let Xyp9x play for himself and just hide in the corner. But that is a disgusting double peek that you just cannot beat. That's almost impossible, even for coldzera. 20 and 14 quietly gets up towards 20, I feel. But listen, SK, this might be a situation where they need to change things up. We've only seen, I think, one timeout out of them. They might want to use a second into the next time they buy, which is right now, which they don't do. But they need to find a way to stabilize and not bleed players in the first 30 seconds of these rounds.
It's really the openings right now, and you'd think SK had enough players that knew how to open a round, so let's see how this goes. Aggression coming out of Pop Dog, running right through the flames, and Dupree ready to take one, and almost a double. Kirby there with a return instead. Fur in the corner, gets a great spray down on Glaive. Now they're a man up. This is looking much better for the Brazilian side. Sip and Kirby are definitely in trouble. Can they get that quick bomb plant going for another fight? And that actually brings it back for a 2-on-2. And somehow Kirby makes it down the line. Sip getting the kill on Fur. How is it falling apart? SK, they had everything going for them, but they wanted to fight instead of getting the bomb down. Fallen, can he do it alone? Captain of the team, and right now it's all on his shoulders. He's got the AK. They're already on the train. Does he realize he's in a very dangerous position here? Looking for the shot, and Kirby gets the perfect timing. That might have been the round. That was a big round there, and SK should have won it.
Yes, they took way too many fights, didn't they? That was a bit unreal. Taco does a phenomenal job, just coming out, swinging out a ladder room into the flames, and the one kill he gets is Device, who's been an absolute menace with that AWP. He's been using it at range to pick them apart. That's what gives him the avenue to even get into the bomb site, but no reason to really need to pressure that connector a whole lot in that situation. Get the bomb down, use some utility, force the defense to be passive just so you can get the plant and win it from there. Fallen even with a chance in the 1-on-2, but just the timing of those peaks was incredible between Kirby and Xyp9x.
Now, does that, the fact that that round does work so well, it's just the end of it that falls apart, but the beginning is really good for SK. Is that enough of an insight? Does that give them like a little spark you think that says, oh, this could be used again?
It's possible, but I think the tough part is it probably is also a spark for Astralis to say, oh God, we have to worry about the fast strategy. Like, we can't let that happen again, because they're probably a little bit caught off guard by that. You could see, I think it was Dupree guarding ladder room who threw the Molotov,
yes,
looks away after it, not expecting anyone to come charging through. He wanted to be able to focus on team main while that Molotov burned, and he gets punished for it, or Device gets punished for his lapse. You have to say as well there, I just talked about coldzera having 20 kills in this game. He missed a big kill,
yes,
jumping on top of that bomb train. That's one he gets 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, you have to agree with that. Quick jump down and no punishment just yet. That classic Molotov going out. There is 3 deagles, 1 CSAT 75, and further with the AK-47. So definitely a winnable round for SK. They have quite a lot of grenades as well. Just, again, the openings. One good opening.
Well, that's what this utility is designed to do. We saw these kind of buys against Virtus Pro work very, very well, getting the pistols really deep down the lanes, and there it is. Look at that, catch him off guard. Fallen's found one. Dupree still in ladder room. It's a strong position to be in, but he's vacated it now. There's Device peeking up over the flames, bringing Fallen down low. This has got to be, if you're Dupree, you're so uncomfortable in this situation. You have no idea where they're coming from next.
No, he's covering like 4 different angles all at once. There's no backup, and suddenly Fallen, who snuck into the sniper nest, will get the kill on Dupree. This is a ridiculous round. Definitely frustrating. He must have been on the radio just yelling at his teammates, why is no one showing up at the A bomb site? I need help desperately. And the cross, that was coldzera with the bomb. Device really wants to peek it. Sip is going to go for the retake as well. They've spotted, Fallen up there. 1 grenade would do it. Device going to get the kill on coldzera. 3 on 3 actually.
It's Fallen patiently. The op rings out. They've got to flush him out of this position, but he's going to win that fight. Now they come up the ladder. Finally, Kirby gets it. Taco and Bolts, a deagle and an M4 against Zipnix and Kirby.
Bolts has got the perfect angle for it. Spray against Sip will win that easily. And Kirby's in trouble. He's got the kit, but how can he force them out? Tapping the bomb. It's only going to reveal 1 player at a time, and I think the time is simply up. He has to fall back. It's a stunning headshot to take down Bolts, but there's just no time. And Taco, just for style points, will shut him down.
Yeah, the exclamation point.
How does Fallen win all those fights with no health at all?
Well, you were onto something. It did tell Fallen that there's a gap in this defense that he can exploit. And once again, 2 rounds in a row, he's able to wrap around the outback. Just that 1 kill of the alley defender. And this is why Dupree is left all alone at the outer bomb site. That utility that SK had was used towards the inner site. It caused 1 rotation. That left Dupree and the Ivy player outside all alone. And once the Ivy player falls, Dupree just has like a decision to make, and he chooses to get out into the open, try and find some kills, but once he gets 1, they're so patient with how they handle him.
Seems like speed is the key here for the Brazilian side. Down Pop Dog with 2 players running into Dupree, who was actually flashed for the beginning of that, but does get the kill on Taco anyway. Now it's a 4-on-4, and they want to keep up the pressure. A lot of aggression here. Also in the B bomb site, where they've managed to wrap around, and Sip uncharacteristically out of position here. It's still a 4-on-4, and the bomb is down. Significant damage onto the SK team, but Astralis looks so confused. That's a huge kill on Fur, though.
It really is, and how do you get back into this round? The bomb is ticking away. They're going to go for it. They've got a flank coming in. It's Glaive. Device trying to help his teammates get out. There's the pop flash. It doesn't matter. Fallen's not blind. Now pushing up, coldzera's got great map control at this inner bomb site. They have to let this flank come in, but this is taking too long. Glaive needs to get results right now. Kirby with the kill. Glaive still pushing forward. Fallen patiently waiting, but he's got 2 angles to check for it. He's getting shot from the side. He's got to drop down. A defuse in the smoke. They're going for it. The knife is out. He's going for the stabs. He's got him down to 3, and he's got him. Fallen wins the round. A knife and an op shot. 15-11.
That took so long, just stabbing away in the smoke. We've seen that fail 100 times, and it's always painful. Not this time. 15-11 in favor of SK Gaming with an absolutely massive round. Somehow, Fallen has made his way to the top of the scoreboard again.
What a clutch play from the captain of SK. That is big boy plays right there. But this is going to be the struggle now. SK is calling another pause. Don't mind this whatsoever. You just got onto 15, but here's the switch up they've made that's so effective. They have stopped spreading out across the map. They have stopped letting themselves get picked off the way they were in the opening stages of this half, and now they've gone fast. It's high octane, it's adrenaline, it's get into the bomb sites. It's very, very quick out of these choke points. And the tough part for Astralis is they've now lost, what, 2-3 rounds in a row? They're going to start running low on money. So normally what you'd say is, what do you do to stop a fast strat? You drop a Molotov in the choke point, you double nade a choke point. they're not going to have all those tools to use. And even SK as well. I mean, think, the force buy they won was a fake towards the inner bomb site, hit Ivy. This previous round was a fast fake towards outside, hit inside with 3 players. So now you've got Astralis guessing as well, and they're so low on weaponry.
That's a great push for Fur, almost catching the kill. A lot of damage onto the Pre. He wanted to get close with the Max 7, but he's just not able to, and they have nearly nothing on the Astralis side. This could just be a genius play from SK Gaming. Again, more aggression coming out in Fur. So deep in the bomb site. They're down at Pop Dog as well, and pushing the Danish players back. This is looking really great here for the T side. Bit of a spray coming in there as Glaive is immediately gone.
This is so sick. This is so smart from SK. This time they feigned the fast, aggressive tactic. Look at how much utility they forced Astralis to use. And SK knows they have the advantage in weaponry. So they do the fake high pressure execute and just sit far back. Use these AKs at range, and only now when they've got 3 kills do they even think about going towards the bomb site.
Beautifully done, controlling this round incredibly well, getting control of the game, falling with the kill on device. Sip, the last one left in a 1 versus 4, and he goes down. SK Gaming pick up map number 1 of the semifinals, which is Train, Astralis map pick. What a great comeback. It looked like they had actually lost control of that second half, and then just one quick rush, and they realize what the idea is.
Yes, and Astralis is going to be so bummed about that, because it's not only is it a very fast-paced rush, but it was with pistols. They found the winning formula. Exposed at Ivy, and then they just throw fakes all day long against Astralis to figure it out. That kind of fast pace and those kind of fakes really neutralize, Device's AWP. He never knows where to be positioned himself.
Yes. I mean, it shows you the depth of the team, doesn't it? Even with bolts in the roster,
yeah.
they still know how to do it. They still know how to come up with the answers. Incredibly well done. There were some mistakes for Astralis every once in a while, but yeah. I think honestly, just a great first half for SK Gaming, and then the fact that they were able to stabilize in the second half just shows what you want to know about them. Yes,
but I'd also, just a shout out to the boys at the desk. It did, our Sponge specifically, who brought it up, the pistol rounds for Astralis. You lose both of them here. Just one of those would have been so nice.
Yeah, because then you probably expect it to be at least overtime, but they could even have won the game if they'd had that pistol round of the second half.
Yeah, it makes the comeback a little bit easier, doesn't it?
It does. Really exciting game, obviously, and it's only the first map, so map number 2 is going to be coming up, well, Mirage. But before we go to that, we're going to have a breakdown from the analysts. Right after this, stay with us.
Map 1 of our first day of the main event, and already we are off to a flying start. SK will take Train. Astralis trying to beat them at their own game. I am Machine, and I'm joined by YNK and Spun J. Gentlemen, first of all, shout out to you, Chad. Yeah, the casters were listening to your desk segment.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I like that.
It's good to get credit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It really helps my ego.
It really does, as you're going to try and get your head out the door when we do leave eventually. But pistol rounds is an interesting topic of discussion when we are starting to, I don't have the time nor energy to actually go through and scrub through and see the pistol round wins for Astralis, but we're not just blowing hot air up people's asses when we say they are struggling to convert pistol rounds.
Yeah, just statistically speaking, they have a rough time converting pistols or getting pistols on the board, but then on the flip side of that, they're amazing at gun rounds, and that's why this game was so close and so exciting.
Yeah.
If they said at the end there, if they were able to grab a pistol, we're looking at either overtime or an Astralis win in theory, right? If it plays out, to that extent. And I think, it's such a credit to Astralis to still be able to play those gun rounds, but maybe just start taking massive risks on your pistol rounds, just start going for gambit plays, 4 guys rush this area on the CT side. Just take super risks and hope it pays off, because right now it's not working. May as well just mix it up and try something a little bit different. In that match, there's so many subtleties of high-end Counter-Strike that people might not realize, especially in post-plant scenarios. First half, there's Bolt and Fallen using flashes to help clear Device out of cutout, pushes him out of position. He gets caught in transition. He goes down. That helps a 3-on-4 situation go in the favor of SK. You flip it over. There's Glaive up heaven and a player at the connector/bomb train. 2v1 situation. They take the peak simultaneously, 2 different levels. coldzera has no idea where to look. Those are little things that people at home might not realize, but this is what changes, a situation that coldzera might be able to turn a 2v1 on its head to just getting completely shut out. And that's the type of stuff that look, it gets me going.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell.
It gets me going.
Yeah, because it's the kind of stuff
moist.
that you know how hard it is to put into practice and to have working.
Oh, in the heat of the moment, to have that happen,
Yeah.
They might not even have said anything. And that's the bit that actually gets me half-mast, mate, is the fact that it's... this here, Taco, he was my player of that match for
the
SK.
pistol round, yeah.
He had so many impact rounds, especially in this first half. Because what you notice is when we got to the end of that first half and then you see SK having to scrap together a force buy for the final round, that just shows you how close the economy was and how many pivotal moments, how many clutches, how many situations like that where if Astralis had picked up the round, they could have flipped it on its head and got even more rounds in that first half.
Not going to be too dejected then when you have a game like that. I mean, when you go through these highlights, every single highlight is one that a lot of us watching would be envious of being able to pull off. Look at Boltz just desperately trying to keep that site under control. What do you make of this kind of... I'm just going to start calling him the new player. Like, screw this whole, like, jumping through hoops, stand-in, blah, blah. The new player for SK.
I think he's very solid. He's had a lot of impact here as well in that second round, in the second half. After SK won the pistol, it was like a 2v3, and then he had, like, 2 great kills. Like, he's one of the better sprayers I think we have, something that goes maybe a little bit